We've got Lynn Macon here. She's the Adventure Tour manager. Lynn, how's it all going this year?
Yeah, no, good this year. We had 2 remote bivvies, which always adds a bit of extra work on the team, but I've got a great team, so yeah, no, it was good this year.
How many riders have you got?
We've got 21 riders. We have 24 in the convoy with our sweep and our lead rider and our recovery side by side.
And how many staff?
We've got, I think there's 6 of us, I think. 6, yep.
So there's plenty of work to do.
Yeah, there is. We've got 2 of the guys that Bert does in our Adventure 2 with Wayne, his driver, and Bert's done the schedule for us and took over from Andy Van Can, who's in 000, who was actually one of the founding instigators of the Adventure Tour. And they sort of worked together and set the course, and he did all the schedules. He does an awesome job. So, and we just got to follow his schedule, basically. Yeah, and the girls and Paul in the bivvy truck. And, good team.
Fantastic. You haven't got just 2-wheelers either. There's a few quads in there?
Yeah, we've got 3 quads. The guys were here last year. We've got, I think we've got 9 returns from last year. Okay. So, yeah, those guys come and they've come with a support vehicle of their own.
And so how would you compare it to last year?
Different group. We've probably got an older group of riders this year that have had a bit more experience of doing enduros. So I think, every year they come with a different set of expectations. And sometimes it takes them a bit longer to get some Ks under their belt and, really enjoy some of the terrain. Was really good today. They loved that stage today, and we managed to get all the way through because we were on the road at 6 this morning, so they were up at 4:30. Which is, I heard someone say this morning, is that Lynn waking me up or is that a bad dream? So apparently someone was heard saying this morning, so yeah.
Someone mentioned that you got the nickname of the Dragon at some point there.
Oh, yes, I do, yes. Yeah.
There's a few guys, I believe, that are thinking of doing the safari race proper next year?
We have got a couple of the guys. They've been running scrolls. So what we try and do at night time when Zero and Sweep do their scrolls, we get the guys in, we sit them down and we show them, one way to mark up the scroll. Everyone sort of sorts out their own way, which works for them. And because we don't run the whole course, so we have to cut part of the scroll off and that sort of thing, so we sit down and do it as a team. The other day when we were out at Gascoyne, I took him to the start control, spoke to a couple of the navigators and they showed him their time cards, and we showed him all the clock boards and how to book in and what to expect, and just sort of try and give him a bit of an education, so heads up on what they can expect.
So if someone's thinking about doing safari, they're a little bit concerned, they haven't got someone who's done it before that they can really rely on, it's a good idea for them to come along and do the adventure tour.
Yeah, I think there's about 7 guys that are actually in safari now that have actually done the adventure tour.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So I think it's a great lead in, and it gives the guys a really good look at what's involved, and especially the navigation sort of stuff. If they haven't done navigation, it's a unique thing. There's not many rallies in Australia where they can do navigation, and also the time controls, which is obviously where you can win and lose sometimes with the penalties.
Yeah. And the racing that the guys are doing here is at an international level. If someone's thinking of doing Dakar or going to South America somewhere doing this sort of racing, which does happen a lot overseas, it's about the only opportunity they've got. This and Condo, that's about it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think this is a great forerunner to Dakar, and I know that that's what Justin has always been aiming for. And I think doing the adventure tour is a good lead into safari. You have those expectations. We have long days. You get to do quite a bit of the course. You get to be in the bivvy, so you get to see what's around, meet some people. We take the guys around to, we took them over to one of the teams the other night that's got 9 bikes, I think it's CPW, over to John McGrath's team, and they had a chat to Warren before he got injured, so they have a chat and a look around and ask questions, which is really good, and all the riders are awesome. They'll sort of have a chat and share ideas, and some of the guys that look at, don't have that big support crew behind them or the money, can get someone, to look after their bike and that sort of stuff, and they help their expectations.
Right. One day to go, nearly there.
Yes, we are nearly there. We are. It's the big, right under the arch tomorrow. So yeah, it's always a good day for the tour, I think, when we come in, and we're the first ones in Geraldton tomorrow, so I'm sure there'll be a tad of celebrating.
So you guys are going to win.
Yeah, they win in their own, win a race to the first beer, I think, for some of our boys.
Colin Bowman, we're nearly at the end of the adventure tour, mate. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing?
We've been out doing probably 300 to 400 kilometres a day. They're big days. We've had days where we're getting away from camp by 6 in the morning, and a couple of days we've left a little later. We've got in at 7:30 at night. So they're big days, and an old fellow like me, I'm pretty worn out and I'm pretty tired, and I'm pretty happy it's Friday tomorrow.
But you guys don't do the whole course, do you?
No, we don't do the whole course. We've had a couple of what they call remote bivouacs, so we haven't been at the main bivouac every night. We had one night over at Northampton. Well, the first night was in Kalberry, and then we had another night elsewhere last night down in Hamlin Bay. So we've been behind it a little bit and in front of it a little bit. So the last 2 days we've been pre-riding the course, so it's been beautiful because if the buggies have been through or the four-wheel drives have been through before us, it's very chopped up. So it was a lot more pleasant to ride on today.
And is your bike very different to what the guys are racing out there?
Yeah, my bike is very different because I got a farm bike. It doesn't run on diesel, but a lot of these bikes are quite a little, similar to the race bikes. There's a couple of guys that have got ex-race bikes. A lot of guys are riding the basic 450 Enduro that a lot of guys ride on the weekend, just as an upmarket trail bike. And there's 2 DRZs in the field, so we've sort of got the older, slower bikes. And I'm probably the older, slower rider.
Do you recommend everyone give this a go if they're into motorsport?
Oh, for sure, yeah, for sure. But look, there's a particular level of ability and skill set. You don't just want to be able to. You're not the sort of guy that can ride down the shop and come home. You need to be a sort of a higher level than that. And it's tough. It is. It's really tough. And I've been riding trail bikes for many number of years, but I was probably one of the weaker ones in the field. There's a lot of talent here amongst these guys. So you need a bit of fitness, and you need to want to sit on a trail bike for 400 kilometres a day.
Mate, we have had a good week. Very quite dusty. A lot of the course was in reverse of last year, sort of thing, so we were a bit familiar with it. Yeah. But no, it was fantastic.
So you did the adventure tour last year?
Last year on different bikes. We sort of upgraded to the thousands this year. Yep. We had 800s last year, so we thought
big difference, isn't there?
Mate, huge. Yep. Different bike altogether. We had the Outlanders last year, so we sort of went for the more aggressive style of the Renegades, better suspension, bit of power steering, a bit of power damping there, Yep. So comes in quite handy in those tight creek beds and that sort of thing. But no, it was a really, really good event. Yeah, it was really good.
How would you compare it to last year? You're one of the few people that we can actually ask that question to.
Yeah, as good as last year. It was fantastic, So we did some different country because last year there were certain stages that we didn't get to do. So we've actually done those stages this year, and it was good. A lot of long blasting stuff, but a lot of sand, which the Can-Ams just love. Yeah. So it was definitely the 4-wheelers week, that's for sure, over the top of the 2-wheelers.
So what do you reckon next year?
Oh yeah, probably for sure. Yeah. It just depends on how we go with time off and that sort of thing. But yeah. It's certainly a good event. If you want to come riding for a week, this is what you do. Yeah. You can't get a better crew, a better setup and that sort of thing to come riding. So it's pretty serious riding, that's for sure.
And if there's any issues, you've got the support of the helis and all the medics and everyone that's here as well.
Absolutely, and it's just the way the bivvy is and everything else set up all the time. It's fantastic. You can come in at night time and have a nice hot shower and good meal and that sort of thing, and maybe a beer or two, and then get back into it again.
There's beer, is there?
Allegedly somewhere. I saw some with one before. Yeah.
Might have to go for a walk.
I'm with you. Okay.
Now we got Dusty on the Super Tenere 750 1990 model. Now, mate, you didn't just rock up in your car and come and do the adventure tour. How did you get here, mate?
I threw my spares into a bag and strapped my swag on the back behind it and rode across the Nullarbor. From Adelaide, so yeah, it was.
So you're from Adelaide?
I am from Adelaide.
South Australian people are a bit strange. We've got the guys on the outfit racing, and now you and us.
Yeah. Well, actually, I only finished it the morning that I left as well, so it was really unproven. I didn't know whether it was even going to make it to Perth, let alone finish this. But it's looking good so far. Today was a pretty hard day, but the bike's been really copping it and handling it. Just brute force and stupidity's got me here. So, yeah.
Beautiful. And you would recommend the adventure tour to everyone?
Absolutely, yeah. Some of the most exciting riding I've ever done, and definitely the most challenging riding I've ever done, and that's what I wanted to see is what the guys that do the safari have to go through to get to the end. it's just phenomenal. Absolutely.
We're not quite there yet.
No, I know, but as good as for
You're pretty
us.
confident. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Look, if I can go through some of the sections that we did and still be smiling, yeah, tomorrow will be easy. Even if I have to swim it through the breakers and then run it down the beach.